fires it out, and it is intercepted again.
He's up off the nose. He's got it in wide open down the left sideline. He gets the edge. He stiff arms a couple of tacklers. Look at this. What a hit. That is a great play. He's got a receiver. He's got it deep. Oh, what an interception. Wow.
Alan Moore.
He's got an opening.
Got past the second level. One man to beat.
A frozen Friday evening here in November for round 2 Ohio High School State Playoff Football. Here to bring you the action, I'm Ryan McGahey along Brad Mahaffey. On tap tonight, the 8 seed Reading Blue Devils taking on the 5 seed West Jefferson Rough Riders. The Reading Blue Devils come in off a big upset last week over Miami East. West Jefferson perhaps an upset of their own as the 5 seed over 4 seed Bethel Tate. And, Brad, what do we expect from Reading tonight?
I think offensively, from Reading, the first thing is, where did Johnny Miller come from? Johnny Miller is a kid who didn't play the last couple years and then comes out for football this spring, and then next thing you know, wins a starting job. And I think you're going to see a high-powered offense led by Johnny. One of his favorite targets, Mancini Jackson. A big physical receiver. I think you're going to see a lot from him. And then, of course, you've got Adrian Simmons, who basically stepped up as the next man up after Cameron Moore went down, suffering that knee injury over the summer. And then basically, if he was healthy, he would have been the starting running back. But Adrian Simmons stepped up, and then 14 touchdowns and 5.4 yards a carry later, he's the starting guy. So. Keep an eye on some of those guys tonight.
And you're going to get to see that Reading offense right off the bat here. Kickoff, West Jefferson. It's fielded by number 3, Van Skake. And he's up to the 36-yard line. Both teams pumped up. Their crowds are pumped up.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how Reading starts this game off. Typically, they like to hang around the perimeter, kind of open up that inside game for Simmons. So we'll see what they can do to open it up here.
And this West Jefferson defense has been stingy on the season, only allowing 12 points per game defensively.
Yeah, only giving up 140 points all season, and doing a whole lot of scoring of their own. 509 points on the season. So.
And right off the bat here, we have a question going on here with Coach Page and the officials on the field. Looking for a clock adjustment there. So it's 1st and 10. Johnny Miller lined up in shotgun. Adrian Simmons flanks him to his left. Trips to the bottom of your screen there. Trips right for Reading.
They still got a lot of problems over here with the clock. It looks like they got it fixed.
Yeah, they put 19 seconds back on the clock. It's at 11:35. Now it's 11:54. First play is a handoff right side. Plenty of room for Simmons. He breaks a tackle, takes it 4 yards, past the first down for a 14-yard carry for Adrian Simmons.
Big carry for the big fella.
Actually, that might be number 7. Yeah, that is Adrian Simmons.
That's
Sorry,
Adrian Simmons.
Number 5. Number 7, Adrian Simmons on the run. Miller's back to pass. He's looking down the middle for Mancini. Mancini jumps in just out of his hands.
Yeah, just a little high, floated up a little bit on him.
Number 10, Caleb Van Hook on the coverage there for West Jefferson. So first and 10 on the first play. They run off power to the right side with Simmons, and then they try to go long over the middle.
Mancini did a good job trying to high point that ball, just a little bit away from him.
And they're going a little bit of power formation here. Single wing, twin to the right. Simmons up the middle, big hold on left side.
Oh, Lord.
And a stiff arm. And that's a 12-yard pickup by Simmons.
Good run by Simmons up the left side there.
And that was, they stacked the right side there and ran it to the left.
And he is a big boy. Left side, 5'10". What is he? 215 pounds of just pure power up that left side.
And that was good blocking by the left side of that Reading line. And they're going to come up with a similar formation. This time the Twins will be on the top side of your screen, left side of the formation. This man in motion could be a jet.
It is the jet. Blockers out front.
He cuts it back, and he gets a couple yards. West Jefferson tried to strip the ball out and pick up a 2. It's hard to see the Reading numbers here.
Gunnar Doran made the tackle on that big 77 there.
Looked like that was Van Skyke on the run, and he's a little coming off,
shaking up a little bit.
Reading doesn't huddle. They look over to the sideline for signals. The signal's in. We have Twins on top side of your screen. Simmons to the right. And they're going to shift. They're going to try that left side again.
Left side again.
Cuts up in. Very patient runner. He's almost running a lot like Le'Veon Bell. Le'Veon Bell will kind of run lateral at the line of scrimmage and just search and look for a place to pick a spot, and then he just turns it upfield, and that's kind of the same thing you just saw there from Simmons.
Yeah, it's a nice comparison. That's how he has definitely been at least the first couple minutes of this football game.
And it's very easy to see early on how he's averaged 5.5 yards a carry.
Swapping some personnel here.
Yeah, they're going to take out a couple of those tight ends. And
Johnny Miller's out. Johnny Miller out.
It is Miller. That's Mancini Jackson lining up at quarterback.
Yeah.
And Page wants a timeout. Something's not right here with the formation.
Yeah, he does not look happy.
So you're right. Johnny Miller had come off there, and Mancini Jackson was actually lined up at quarterback on that play. More than likely, I'd expect when you see Mancini at quarterback, you're more than likely looking at some sort of a read option with Mancini and Adrian Simmons.
Yeah, his speed is definitely something that they're probably looking to get outside on him.
So Reading with the timeout. Deshaun Wynn, former Reading Blue Devil, former Green Bay Packer, former Philadelphia Eagle. He's on the field there with Coach Rob Page, talking to the team. Big part of the running back success this year has been running back coach Deshaun Wynn.
Still seeing Miller on the sideline. They're going to stick with that formation even after this timeout.
I wouldn't expect to see Mancini Jackson throw it. I'd expect to see some sort of a run.
Gotcha.
9:34 on the clock here. It is not 1-0 for West Jefferson, as the scoreboard may say. And it is Mancini Jackson is lined up at quarterback. Mancini keeps it. He finds a hole.
Oh,
he spins
nice
out a tackle.
Move. Left side.
15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Mancini Jackson. He keeps it and goes up the middle, cuts left, spins out of a tackle, and Mancini Jackson's in the end zone. 6-0 Blue Devil lead. What a run.
That was fantastic. Just found that little hole, made a nice little move, and he was off to the races.
The move is really what sold it all.
It is.
And Sam Sophia will come on to kick. The first move right there in the hole was what really made that run. Yeah,
absolutely. That's the type of stuff you can't teach. Just you can teach the X's and O's, but that's the type of stuff they do on their own.
Kick is up and good. 7-0 lead for the Blue Devils. So, Brad Mahaffey with me here, Ryan McGahey. Brad Mahaffey, a youth football coach in his own right. And, Coach, what did you see on that drive from Reading? What did you see from West Jefferson?
Man, just from West Jefferson, the one thing they're going to have to really focus on is Adrian Simmons trying to stop that power run. If they can control the clock and keep that ball on the ground and get that power run going, West Jefferson's going to have a hard time. Then now, I mean, if that's the first look Mancini Jackson's had out of that kind of Wildcat-style offense, and West Jefferson's never seen anything like that, from maybe the tape or whatnot that they've got of Reading. They got some more adjustments that they're going to have to make.
So West Jefferson Rough Riders there in white and yellow to the right side of your screen. They've only allowed averaging 12 points a game. In the first drive, Reading puts up 7.
I'm excited to see this offense averaging 46 points a game.
Little squib kick here.
Squib.
And no one has fielded it yet.
Oh.
The back finally comes up, and he's going to be tackled about the 38-yard line.
As excited as I am to see this West Jefferson offense, I'm also just as excited to see the CNC sack factory in Comer and Combs. I believe it's Comer leading the CFL in sacks, right?
CHL, yeah.
CHL, yeah.
13. Let's see. Tanner Cromer, defensive lineman. And 52, Andy Combs. Cromer with 16 sacks and Combs with 8 on the season. Shotgun for West Jefferson.
Let's see what we got here.
Lambert's going to throw.
Oh.
He's going deep. Great coverage by number 11, Jermaine Fulton for Reading.
Good coverage.
Pass intended for number 6, Justin Williams.
Reading's D-line getting some decent pressure there on the left side. The pocket was starting to kind of collapse a little bit there.
Lining up at quarterback for West Jefferson, Lance Lambert. Back to throw, trying to set up a screen. He's picked off! And it's a 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, he runs over the quarterback. Reading's up 13-0. A pick 6. I can't see the number.
They were trying to throw the right-hand side into the flat, and the defender just jumped up right in front of it, took it away, and took it to the house.
It was Mancini Jackson,
Mancini
number
on
10.
defense. Get it done on defense.
Second touchdown.
Holy
Put the
Lord.
team on your back and take them to the end zone, son.
Fantastic. Hey, getting it done on the offensive side, getting it done on the defensive side. Number 10, Mancini Jackson, just making it happen tonight. This first 2 minutes and 55 seconds belonging to Mancini Jackson.
Sam Sofio, extra point is good. And what a read by Mancini Jackson. Lance Lambert, quarterback for West Jefferson, lined up in the shotgun. He looks to his left, pumps that deep ball, comes back to the right, set up the screen. Mancini reads it. Steps in front of it,
Took it
pick
to the house.
6.
That was amazing. And then the truck at the end, man, that was fantastic.
Yeah, it looked
Way to
like he
play
might go
football.
down about the 3 or the 4 yard line, and he just put his shoulder down and barreled his way into the end zone. So if there's ever the definition of coming out and smacking you in the mouth, that's what Reading has done right now. And as the 8 seed playing a powerhouse team that scores 46 points a game and only gives up 12, that's what you got to do.
Yeah, you have to. I mean, you gotta come out ready to play. Yeah, they've done it. They've done it so far.
All the action right now, it's been all Reading so far. 14.
Back for West Jefferson, number 25, Wyatt Dillon.
See if we can try to get another squib kick here.
Kicking off for Reading. Looks like Elijah Vaught. And the line drive kick.
Fielded.
Fielded.
Oh, little okey doke there. Sniffed out by Reading, real nice.
That was fielded by Dillon, and he kind of bobbled the ball, and it just landed in his teammate Van Hook's
Oh, is
lap.
that what it was?
Yeah.
I thought they might have tried a little hook and ladder type deal there.
So now you got to see what kind of answer West Jefferson has for Reading. You're down 14-0.
I mean, something's going to tell me this is the first time they've found themselves in a situation like this. So,
and you may hear them in the background. We actually have a radio crew that follows West Jefferson, and they told us there's only been one other game this season where they haven't had a running clock.
Yeah,
they've been up by 30 points or more in almost every game this season. There's a run up the middle.
The game against Mechanicsburg, where they were still able to pull out a big victory, 28-0. But every other game's been a running
including
clock.
last week against Bethel Tate in the playoffs.
Bethel Tate, yeah. They're against the 4-seed undefeated Bethel Tate Tigers. They still had a running clock. So this is a really, really, really good football team that's found themselves in unknown territories.
So here's Lambert, flanked by, looks like Dillon, number 25. He hands it to Dillon up the middle, and he's got 2 or 3 yards. It's going to bring up 3rd and 3 for the Rough Riders.
Man, this is a big play for Reading right here.
If you can get a stop for loss, you most likely put them in a punt situation.
I was going to say, even in a stop for no gain, putting them at 3rd and 3, they're on their own 35. That would be a real hard call for a coach to go for it on 4th and 3 from their own 35.
Van Hook and South on the bottom of your screen. Up top looks like number 7, Boyd. Lance Lambert, he's going to hand it to Dillon up the middle. He's got a first down.
Yep.
He picks up about 6 yards, up to the 42. Tackled by number 5, Marcus Flaggy.
Yeah, Wyatt Dillon just a power run right up the middle. Looks like they've gone to that, a few times, and something tells me we'll see a little bit more of that the rest of the night.
3 in a row to Dillon. And make it 4 in a row. Big hole up the middle. 9 yards, maybe 10. The mark looks like 10.
Yeah, if they, if he's going to pick up that,
they're going to call it 9.5. It's going to be second and a short one.
If he's going to pick up that kind of yardage, I'd run Dillon the rest of the way down into the house. Reading's going to have to do something to make the center of that defensive line a little more stout.
Reading's defense, they don't talk to Coach Page. They don't really call plays. It's more of a kind of a read and react defense. Each player has a key that they focus on, and they're going to call for a measurement here. It's going to be very close to a first down. If it's not a first down, it's inches.
Yeah, some of the big keys that Coach Page said is, especially on defense, just making sure that they're, beating your man, beating their man, for the 6 seconds. Every play averages 6 seconds, and hey, win your 6 seconds, and it's going to be one of the keys to beating this West Jefferson offense.
And that simple defense has worked for Reading throughout most of the year. Their defense only gives up about 18 points a game. He keeps up the middle, and it's a good read. Ball's on the ground. Ball's on the ground, and it's Reading football.
Oh my Lord!
So Lambert faked it to Dillon.
Who's on it?
It looked like maybe number 11.
Mancini Jackson?
No, number 11, Jermaine Fulton.
11's Fulton, yeah.
It was either 11 or 5. Couldn't really tell. Our monitor is not working here in the booth, so we may be questioning some of those. We can't really tell what numbers are doing what. And the red numbers on their uniforms make it a little difficult to read from the press box here.
It was hard to see the number on the tackle, but man, what a great tackle for.
Yeah, so they ran 4 times in a row with Dillon, and so they fake it to him, and Lambert keeps up the middle and just a good tackle. And here's Simmons. This is back to the first play of the game, and it's another big hole. And he bounces it outside, 30-yard line. He might go away. He's gone away. 10, 5, touchdown.
He took it to the house.
And in 5 minutes, it is 20-0. What is going on? Number 8 seed.
I'm shocked. I'm speechless.
We were talking before we went on air, and I asked you, I said, what is your prediction? And I don't think we ever got to the point where you actually gave me an answer.
I didn't.
Because I answered, and I said, well, here's my prediction. I said, I think West Jefferson wins by 14. And, boy, do I look wrong right now. And I'll be honest with you. I'm happy about it.
You're a little biased to be happy about it, right?
I might be a little biased. I may have graduated from Reading. And Sam Sophia with the extra point. I think it's Sophia. Elijah Vaught's kicking off, which is kind of curious, interesting. Sophia's with the extra point. Looks like Sophia might go kick off now.
Man.
Oh, Sophia's still on the sideline, so it looks like they'll continue with Vaught kicking off, as what we saw the last 2 times. And now, Coach, 21-0. But you know, there's 7 minutes left in the first quarter. Your team scores 48 points a game.
I mean,
do you just keep doing what you do?
Well, I mean, keep doing what you do. I mean, offensively, man. But I'd be really thinking about the defense at the moment. I mean, Reading hasn't done anything that's just should absolutely be blowing your mind. They're just playing really tough power football, and it's.
I mean, Reading's last touchdown there. One drive, one play. I mean, the drive was one play. What was it? About a 60-yard touchdown or a 55-yard touchdown, and he ran off tackle to the right, and it looked like the ball's down on the ground. They got to re-tee it, but it looked like Simmons might get a 10-yard gain, and then all of a sudden he's out in the open.
Then he's gone. Yeah, there was I want to say the block was by number 3, maybe Van Skeek. It looked like he kind of sealed that edge and allowed Simmons to bounce it out, and bring it back outside, and then he just turned the speed on, and took it in. Nice little low line drive there.
Low line drive kick, and it's fielded by number 10 Van Hook.
Staying on his feet. Still on his feet.
42-yard line. Nice return there by Caleb Van Hook, taking it about 22 yards from the 20 to the 42. And so 2 drives for West Jefferson and 2 turnovers. And those turnovers have led to 14 points for the Reading Blue Devils.
Oh, they're hurrying up now. Yeah, I mean,
well, this looks pretty impressive for an 8 seed. And there's an official's timeout on the field. Kind of tough to see what that was about, but here we go up the middle. That's number 8.
Oh, who was that?
That is Ethan Higgins.
Ethan Higgins. Yeah, you actually talked about him a little bit before the game.
He's kind of the here's a replay of this run right up the middle, Ethan Higgins. And Reading's got a guy come outfield. He's got to hurry. He's off. And it's Higgins again.
Yeah,
he's a bigger back.
He's a big kid coming in at 6'1", almost 200 pounds.
Yeah, 6'1", 200 compared to Dylan, who's 6 foot 180. I mean, a little bit more, 20 more pounds on this guy. And he honestly looks a little bit bigger than what he's listed.
West Jefferson definitely seems to be doing what they want up front now. Their offensive line's getting a really, really good push, and they're just running that power up the middle with Higgins.
And right there, he was actually had a couple Reading defenders in the backfield. Had a chance to tackle Higgins. He made a nice move and picked up 6 yards to get a first down. And now this West Jefferson offense is moving a little bit.
Yeah, I think that offensive line. I don't know. Maybe there's just a little extra fire under them right now. But that offensive line is key at the moment. But they're getting. I mean, they're firing off the ball and they're pushing that D line back. I mean,
This time Reading reads the play correctly, and still a 3-yard gain on first down. It's not bad for West Jefferson. It's maybe 2 yards actually. Okay, we'll call it 2 yards. So second and call it a short 8.
Yeah, there you go.
Possible blitz coming on the bottom side.
Yeah, and it got picked up quick.
They go up the middle again.
It's good enough for first.
4 straight plays now with Higgins. Here's another replay. It's a read. If you look at the quarterback Lambert, he has the choice to pull that ball back out and run it himself or even throw it. But he's just been handing it to Higgins up the middle. It's been there.
I mean, they're gonna. I mean, something tells me their head coach is going to keep going back to the well until it gets stopped. So, I mean, I know that's something I would do. So
single receiver on the bottom, twins up top. And that's a nice play in the backfield. Combs and number 34, Aiden Ashbrook.
I think at this point, this has been the bright spot so far. Dillian had some good runs, but I think he's trying to do the power run. That's where you're bringing Higgins.
West Jefferson have twins up top. It's number 7, Jacob Boyd. Number 10, Caleb Van Hook. Lambert with Higgins again. It's been Higgins this entire drive.
I'll tell you what, ball control's got to be a big priority with West Jefferson at the moment. So, two drives,
Higgins
2
again,
turnovers.
big hole up the middle. He gets to the third level, and he has a first down. It'll be first and goal on the 8-yard line. Here comes the replay. It's Van Higgins right up the middle.
Just hard run.
Ethan Higgins.
They're running this play again.
And he's going to be down to about the 1.5-yard line. This drive has been all Higgins.
Yeah, you got to go back to him here. Second and goal from about the 1. You got to give it. This is his drive. 8's got to put it in the end zone. Redding's got to jam that middle.
They got pressure, and he's going to be stopped. It's going to be third and goal on the 2-yard line.
I think this is something where you might see this little read option here come into play.
He may pull that ball back out. He
Pull that
may
ball out.
fake the handoff to Higgins.
Yeah, I think that's what we might see.
I think
right
you're
here.
down. If you're down 21-0, I think this is 4-down territory though.
I'd agree. Especially when
2 receivers on bottom. That's number 10, Van Hook. Number 22, Jordan South.
Let's see if we see that.
Boyd up top by himself. 24, Gatley is the wing. Here goes Higgins. He's going to get a push from his teammate. Here comes the line judge. No signal yet. He's calling him short. 4th and short.
Oh, man.
It'll be 4th and short. Here's a replay. And the nose of the ball is literally about an inch away from the goal line. Do they line up in shotgun and run Higgins again? Or will you line up in a jumbo and have Lambert sneak it in? It looks like Lambert may sneak it in here. They're lined up under center. I formation. Higgins the lead back.
I don't know about this. I think showing that blitz right up the middle.
And they stopped him.
They
stopped him.
They stopped
He gives him the touchdown.
Oh,
he gives him the touchdown. He may have reached the ball over the goal line just as he was going down. We'll need to see this on replay, but there's no review, so it's a touchdown anyways, regardless of how it happened. But it looked like he may have been stopped. Here's your replay.
What do you think? Seeing that replay there, Ryan?
He definitely got in. He reached that ball over the goal line. Nice second effort by Ethan Higgins. The initial pressure was there. He was stopped, and he made a second effort and reached the ball over to score the touchdown.
Big John Stevenson with that extra point there.
And that is he is big, John Stevenson. Very, very big guy for a kicker. 6'3", 280, offensive lineman. He's also the kicker.
Like
so, 2:18 remaining in the first quarter, 21-7. West Jefferson did finally what they needed to do. They protected the ball, and they have maybe for the moment, quelled this momentum by Redding.
They got to come out and play some defense too.
Redding has had 2 drives. The first drive was about 5 plays.
The first question they've got to answer is, what do we do about Adrian Simmons?
Because the second drive, I was just getting to that, was 1 play, about 55 yards, a touchdown run by Adrian Simmons.
So I mean, Adrian Simmons, if he's continuing to run the way that he's running, it's going to be a long night for West Jefferson.
Back for Redding, Van Skyke and Mancini Jackson. Kicking off for West Jefferson's number 6, Justin Williams. Kicking off from the 40. Short kick. Picked up at the 25. And that's Adrian Simmons. That's a dangerous spot to kick it, if you think about it.
Very.
If he gets any kind of blocking in a hole, you could be in trouble there if you kick it there. If I'm the West Jefferson head coach, I would probably tell my kicker, hey, please don't kick it there anymore.
Not that spot.
Maybe kick it to the right, to the second level. So here comes the Reading Blue Devils offense. It'll be Johnny Miller back at quarterback.
Yep.
Ball's on the near hash, nearest to the camera. Twins down at the bottom. Van Skyke in motion. He may take the handoff. It's a fake. Miller's going to throw. He's going long. He has a wide-open receiver at the 35-yard line, and he's down to the 30. That's number 13, Tanner Cromer, your defensive sack master. And they fake the jet, and they throw a long pass. Is there a penalty flag down? Because everyone looks like they're cut like a – there might be a flag.
I don't see a flag on the field,
but they're all standing around as if there might be a flag. There's going to be an illegal man downfield on Reading. That play did take a while to develop, and usually when that happens –
that's when bad things
usually
happen.
when the offensive usually when a long pass play takes that long to develop, you're typically going to see offensive linemen kind of leak slowly downfield.
Yeah, I mean that's apparently what happened here. So 35-yard play negated, going to push them back 5 yards. First and 15 from a 31. So that's tough.
That's a big momentum killer for Reading. We'll have to see how Reading will answer. That's a huge penalty for West Jefferson.
I'll tell you what, Johnny Miller was really, really calm in that pocket there.
They'll hand it to Simmons around the left edge. Nice play coming around the backside, number 51 for West Jefferson, Hunter Braithwaite. Here's a replay here. You see 51 come around the edge, and really he chases Simmons down from the backfield. Simmons with that, the only downside to that patient running style where you just kind of wait for that hole is you are susceptible to someone coming on the backside and tracking you down.
For sure. 13's kind of hobbling off a little bit.
That's Tanner Cromer.
Tanner Cromer.
Trips down low. Simmons to the left side. They'll fake a handoff, looking for a quick screen, and Miller threw it right to the defense. And it was Braithwaite again. Hunter Braithwaite was standing right in front of the receiver. It almost looked exactly like the Reading interception on West Jefferson. It was a screen, and there's a penalty, a conversation with the refs. Personal foul face mask on Reading. So, yes, this is kind of a double-edged sword here.
For a team like West Jefferson, I mean, this is what you need to happen. You know, I mean, you're down 21-0 in 4 minutes of the game, and you know, you come out with a nice, strong offensive series, and finish it up with a touchdown, and then you get a quick turnover on the Reading side of the ball, and then a 15-yard penalty to boot. I mean, this is playing the way that they need it to play at the moment. So Reading's got to do something to counteract this.
Right back to Higgins. About 3 yards. So it'll be 2nd and 7. 58 seconds to go in the first quarter. At least one more play to go here. If they were to score here, that'd be 35 points total on the board in the first quarter. That would be kind of insane for any football game.
I'll tell you, the that inside read to 8 Higgins, it's bound to get pulled back with a pass or something here shortly. I mean, they're just setting it up.
There it is. So Amber just kept it. And he only gets 2 yards. Yeah, 16 seconds left in the first quarter. That's going to bring us to the end.
Yeah, they've been
of the first quarter. They're going to take it to the other side of the field. While they talk about what they're going to do on the flip side of this quarter here, let's take a look at the Cablecast replay times. The Cablecast replay times for this game, if you're catching it on the delayed web stream, tell your friends, tell your family, tell your mother, tell your dog. You can catch us Saturday the 11th at 3 p.m. on, you can see your channels on Spectrum and Cincinnati Bell there on the right. So Saturday at 3 p.m., Sunday the 12th at 8 p.m., Wednesday the 15th, our third shift special, 8 a.m., and a second third shift special on Thursday the 16th at 10 a.m. Those are your replay times.
Nice.
So you're coming back here with third and, we'll call it 5.
3rd and 5, yeah. I mean, again, down 14, you know, you've had a lot of success up the middle with Higgins. I mean, I don't see why it's not 4-down territory again.
And we were watching the kicker for West Jefferson warm up, and a lot of the snaps were questionable.
Yeah.
the holds were questionable and some of the kicks were low line drives. So
I'd say all the kicks were low line drives.
I'd expect just for that it would be a 4-down territory, but he has made a couple field goals this year.
Sure has.
35 is in the backfield now. That's Gabe Jones. It'll be a run to Gabe Jones. He's going to be short.
Oh, he might have that first.
It's going to be really close.
Depends
They
on
may
where
have to measure. The referee, he's spotting it 4th and 1 right now.
He's spotted 4th and 1. Yep, he sure is.
They needed to get to the 6 to get a first down. He got to the 7. 4th and 1, I expect to see Higgins.
Higgins is in the backfield. I think you might see Lambert under center again.
The Reading faithful trying to pump up their defense.
Yeah, Lambert's back under center. Try see if they'll go to the well again for this sneak. Nope.
They go to Higgins. It's wide open. He is down to the 1 yard line, maybe the 2.
Spotting him around the 1.5.
So at 1st and goal, and they're going to go quickly. I'd expect to see the same thing.
Yeah, 4 straight times.
West Jefferson has spotted a weakness in the Reading defense.
Oh,
not on that play. That's Tanner
big
Cromer.
play.
Tanner Cromer off the end. Check out the replay here. The near side to the camera, the bottom side of the defense, Tanner Cromer just fires off the edge.
Flew in there.
Right into the backfield. A loss of, let's call it 2.
That's a big play.
You have Twins up top. They're back in the shotgun now.
He's got to do it 3 more times.
Single wing to the right. It's Higgins. And he stopped at the 1. It's going to be 3rd and goal at the 1. Reading's defense has been allowing chunks until they get down into that goal-to-go situation. Then they've been coming up stout. Be 3rd and goal from the 2. Single receiver up top. I form. 2 tight ends. Second back through, it's Dylan.
They're holding him.
And he may
stopped
be
him
short. That's going to be 4th and
He's
goal
way
to
short,
1.
Yeah.
Rather than giving it to Higgins, they give it to the second man through. And that looked like number 25, Wyatt Dillon.
I don't see any downside to not, going forward on 4th down. I mean,
He's going to take a timeout to talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to say that, did they mark him down as a yard loss there? Mark him down at the 2?
Let's take a replay of the last play. It was 3rd and goal at the 2, so they're saying no. So they're saying no gain.
So they spotted the previous play at the 2.
Just looking at the ball though, it's inside the 2.
Yeah.
I'd call it 4th and a long 1.
Yeah, I mean the downside of not picking this up, is how much confidence do they have in that kicker, and then if they don't pick this up, and you're giving Reading a long field to try and work with, so got their backs against the wall. I mean,
interesting observation I just had. Maybe we can have our wonderful director Dean grab a shot at this later, but if you check out the heater on Reading's sideline, it's a little tiny thing. And then if you look at the West Jefferson heaters, they got the big the big turbo heaters. It's kind of funny, the differences in budgets there. So here we go, 4th and goal. They're going to go for it.
Reading crowd's pumped up here.
And this time Higgins is the deep back. Looks like number 24.
I think you got
Justin Gatley's the fullback.
I think this has got to go to Higgins.
It goes to Higgins.
It does.
And he's in.
I don't know.
They may stop him. They stopped him. It looked like he dove in.
They are spotting him at the 1.
But they're going to stop him at the 1. It's Reading's ball.
Unreal.
Just as good as a turnover. Here comes the replay. Again, we have no monitor here in the booth, so we're going off of our naked eyes.
Look at Higgins. Big carry there up the middle, and Reading's defense just collapsing on him.
A good play there by Reading's defense. Again, the Reading defense is giving up chunks until they get to the goal-to-go situation. Then they turn up strong. So first down and 10 for Reading at the 1. Still in the shotgun. They'll hand it to Simmons. I don't know if he's going to get out of the end zone. He has to get the whole ball past the plane.
I think he did.
He did.
They're
He's
spotting
up
him
to
at
the 1.
Yep, they're spotting him at the 1.
It's very dangerous to line up in shotgun and give your running back the ball in the end zone because once you do that, but the entire ball has to cross the entire plane for it to not be a safety.
Yeah.
It's not like a touchdown where it just has to touch the plane. The entire ball has to cross the plane.
And they were very lucky to get that back out to the 1.
For it to not be a safety.
I'll tell you what, maybe they're setting up a little bit of a play action type of pass type thing. Let's see what they do. I don't think this would be a smart idea.
Reading's 2 tight ends are going to shift to the top side. Twins down low. They're going to fake
it.
Miller's going to roll out. He's just going to run it.
He's going to keep it.
Nice. He's going to have a first down.
Fantastic.
So about the 12, maybe 13. Oh, they're calling him at the 11, so they may have to measure.
He ran out past the sticks. I can't.
The referee, it looks like the referee has marked him right at the first down marker.
Marking him short.
Yeah, to me it looked like as he was running, he reached out with the ball as he went out of bounds. But they'll still put him right there at the marker. They'll have to measure. It still could be a first down. Our view is obstructed.
West Jefferson has come back, showed some signs of life, went for it on 4th and goal from the 2 just a few minutes ago, was still at the 1-yard line.
And they're now stretching the chains.
I think he's
The referee's going to signal, and he's holding up a couple of fingers to indicate that they are just an inch short. So it'll be 3rd and an inch. Questionable spot by the line judge.
Or the line judge is a West Jefferson alumni, so.
This is fake news. I understand we're showing a replay. As I said, we can't see that. We can only go with what we saw with our eyes and rewind the play in our minds.
See what Coach Page dials up here on 3rd and 1 inch. Looks like Miller's going to go into center. And
he's going to sneak it. He might have dropped the snap.
It looked like he dropped the snap.
He at least bobbled the snap, but should be a first down. He is at the 11, and they marked him at the 13.
Did they mark it? Okay, there we go. That line judge, he didn't give that first down signal very well. It was hard to see. Reading was going a little.
The officiating crew has been kind of coy about all their signals tonight.
Yeah, very coy.
So we have trips down low. Deshaun Wynn signals in the play. Johnny Miller says, send the signals again. He's got them now. He's going to roll to his right, look to throw. He's going to run it. And again, he stretches out the ball.
Ooh,
and
that's a real late hit. There
and a very, wow. I mean,
Super.
4 yards out of bounds.
Yeah.
He gets hit. And flags from every single official on the field.
Everyone saw it.
And again here, I got to wonder if this line judge is paying attention to Miller reaching the ball out. Because if you watch on the replay, I know we're going to see the late hit here, and that's the point. That's the big focus of the play here. But mine is, I mean, this could become an issue later in the game. You know, this is a playoff football game. We got to make sure we're getting the ball spotted right. As Miller's running out of bounds, he's reaching the ball forward, which gives him an extra 2 or 3 yards. That should have been a gain of 6 or 7. Instead, he marked him at 4. We have a triple stack down low. Simmons to Miller's right. He'll look over to the signal, to the sideline for the signal. Deshaun Wynn signals in the play. Simmons will move. Fake. It's a screen. Softly thrown. Mancini Jackson breaking tackles, but he's still going to lose yards.
It's about 2 or 3
It's a great effort play by Mancini Jackson, but a better play by the West Jefferson defense.
Yeah, there were about 11 yellow helmets on him as soon as that ball was thrown.
Again, great effort, but better play by the defense. And that ball has to get out there quicker on the screen. It was thrown
it's
kind of softly.
Yeah, it's got to zip out there on that. I mean, that's one of those plays that's more of like, a real quick hitter, And if you hope an athlete can make a play in space and maybe break something here or there. But, I mean, ultimately, I mean, you see that a lot with, some of the big receivers, like the A.J. Greens and the Chad Ochoas.
Miller throws it up for Jackson. It's a jump ball.
High point.
And He looks for a flag. No flag. I thought it was a good defensive play there by Van Hook.
I didn't really see Van Hook make much of a play on it at all. He definitely did a good job of getting in the way.
He got in the way.
He definitely got in the way, but as far as
I don't think there's anything there to warrant pass interference.
I would agree with that. Agree with that.
Here's the replay. It's just really Miller's just throwing basically a jump ball. They identify the one-on-one coverage
for sure,
and he just throws a jump ball for his tall receiver.
Yep, Jackson's they're putting Jackson up one-on-one on Van Hook, and I mean Van Hook's only coming in at 5'11". Jackson's coming in at 6'3". I mean, you got to take that height advantage into consideration, and Jackson's just a tremendous athlete. So, I mean, he's going to win that the majority of times, but that ball's got to be.
Redding's going to take a timeout. 7:38 on the clock. It's 3rd and 11. Scoreboard shows 2nd and 11, but it's 3rd and 11 according to the markers.
Yeah, the box is right.
21-7. 7:38 to go. Redding's ball, 3rd and 11. 3rd and long 11.
I think I believe the clock operator for this game should be an OHSAA official, correct?
That is my understanding, but I'm not an expert on this.
I believe it is. Maybe it's a different type of clock than he's used to.
That very well could be. It's a cold night here.
It is.
A cold, frozen fall Friday evening. And Redding has come out strong to jump out to a 21-7 lead. They have the ball.
I'll tell you what, if they can get that one-on-one coverage with Jackson and Van Hook again, I think they go back to that. It's there. It's just a matter of making it happen.
If you're just tuning in, Redding jumped out to a 21-0 lead with 3 touchdowns in the first 5 minutes of the game. 5 wide receivers, 2 to the bottom, 3 to the top.
Oh yeah.
Look to the sideline.
They're gonna get that one-on-one coverage on all the. I mean,
right now Jackson is 1-on-1. They might have the matchup they want. Pressure from West Jefferson, thrown into the ground by Miller. Could be intentional grounding if they didn't go back to the line of scrimmage. They won't call it. It'll be 4th and I'll call it a long 11. Scoreboard says 11. Looks like 12 to me. Johnny Miller is also the punter.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And he actually averages 34.2 yards per kick.
Nice.
He's had 6 land inside the 20.
Man, as long as 52. Let's see.
Along with 52. He's a great athlete, and he plays basketball. Star on the basketball team. Punter, quarterback. Always brings in the dangers of a fake punt, but I don't think you'll see one here. Good snap. Pressure from the edge.
Nice little
got a little bit of
over
roll
kick
to
there.
it. Gets a Redding bounce.
That's
a big Redding
great
bounce
Redding
there.
Bounce. Yeah, you couldn't have asked for a better punt.
That's
nice
a
little 42-yard.
punt. His average on the year is 34. I mean, any time that you can have a net punt or a gross punt of 42 and a net punt of 42, that means you've done something well.
That is.
So West Jefferson will take over now on their own 29. 7:22 left to go, trailing by 14.
Biggest thing Redding's got to do here is on defense, they've got to come out and they got to figure out what are we going to do with Higgins. You know, they've really been kind of soft in the middle there. They've come up and made the big stops when they've needed to, but they gotta make an answer for it so they're not giving up 70 yards and
they get the pressure up the middle
go.
right there. That's a loss
exactly
of 4.
What they needed.
I'm gonna call it a loss of 4. Looks like Combs was in on the play. Check out the replay here. Pressure right up the middle. See looks like I can't tell, but it looks like number 75 for Redding. 76 perhaps. Andrew Feartag, along with 52.
76.
Combs.
Yeah, it's got to be. He's listed as 6'6" in the book.
Twin tight ends up top. Twin receivers on bottom. Looking for another screen. Now he's going long, and he has a man wide open. It's Van Hook. Can he catch him from behind? It doesn't look like it. 20, 15, 10, 5, and a touchdown for West Jefferson. No flags are on the field. The play counts. It's 21-13.
Man, I wonder how he could end up so wide open.
Oh, from what I could tell there, it looked like West Jefferson kind of feigned, not really a fake, but they feigned the screen. And Reading's defenders stepped up, and Van Hook ran a 9.
From the 9.
And Lance Lambert just threw a deep ball, and it was a beautiful deep ball. High snap,
Fella.
but the kick is
Kick's
good.
good.
That's a lot of what we saw in warm-ups.
Probably the best kick even in warm-ups. That one had a nice little arc to it. He's got that old-school straight-on kick.
Here's a replay of the touchdown here as they snap the ball. You'll see it looks like they kind of feigned the screen, and you'll see the Reading defense step up. And then that leaves Van Hook wide open.
Alone. He was able to turn it on, too. Reading defenders were collapsing.
It looked like they might catch him, and then he turned on those afterburners. He pressed the red NOS button.
Yep. See if Reading can respond here. Not a whole lot from the offense. I mean, a decent amount from the offense since that Adrian Simmons touchdown. He had a couple good plays, but the one big 35-yard pass play negated by the flag.
So West Jefferson set the kickoff. 21-14, they trail. Reading Blue Devils. The 8 seed Reading Blue Devils versus 5 seed West Jefferson. Van Skyke and Mancini Jackson back to kick. It's a high kick, and this is going to be to Adrian Simmons again. But it bounces, hits off his foot. He picks it up. He's going to run to his left, and he's tackled right where he picked it up at the 25-yard line by number 24, Justin Gatley.
Yeah, Justin Gatley.
So here comes the Reading offense, trailing by up by 7, 6:28 remaining. 1st and 10 on their own 26-yard line. That's Mancini Jackson.
Ooh, heck of a block.
That was number 10, Mancini Jackson, lined up at quarterback. And he just kept it on the read option. Check out the replay here.
That block really sprung that run.
You may see a little bit more of Mancini Jackson lining up at quarterback and keeping it. Jackson still at quarterback. This is something that Rob Page said they would do. He's going to hand it to Simmons. Simmons up the middle. Big hole.
He's found a seam. Ooh.
He almost lost the ball.
He sure did. Caleb Van Hook reached in there and almost ripped it out just as Simmons was going down.
But he didn't. Check out the replay. About a gain of 15 yards. Here's Simmons off the handoff by Mancini.
Just finds a seam.
And you see Van Hook almost ripped the ball away. Mancini still at quarterback. Simmons flanks him. Single wing tight end. 2 receivers up top. Fakes it. Jackson keeps it. He has nothing. A great play again by number 24, Justin Gatley.
Gets it back to the line of scrimmage here. So, I mean, he had to make a second and third effort just to get it back to the line of scrimmage. But, man, I'll tell you, he's a great athlete. And I think that's creates a lot of matchup problems for West Jefferson.
So we have twins at the bottom side now. Jackson still at quarterback. 2nd and 10. He'll hand it to, no, he keeps it. It's a stiff arm. He's got room, and he barrels through. He picks up 8, maybe 9 yards. It's going to be 3rd and 1. Here's a replay. He puts it in Simmons' belly. The defense reacts to that, so he pulls it back out. He runs to his left, gets a good block, and just barrels over West Jefferson defender. Single wing, twins up top.
Go back in. No, it's Jackson's still in.
Jackson's still in.
Give it to Simmons.
He gives it to Simmons. Simmons has nowhere to go. He's going to be
Nowhere to
stopped.
go.
Van Hook, Braithwaite, and 22, Jordan South. All on the stop. They lost a couple of yards. It's going to bring up 4th and 3 with 4:11. Check out the replay here. Pressure off the left side, and there was really nowhere for either Mancini Jackson or Adrian Simmons to go. Johnny Miller, the punter, is not coming on the field, so that means Reading will go for it. I expect they may use their 3rd timeout here. They have 1 remaining. He's going to run the clock all the way down, call a timeout, and more than likely send Miller out to try to punt it.
Yeah, that would be my guess. I mean,
there's your timeout. 3:41.
Yeah, what you don't want to see here, though, is a punt rolling into that end zone.
And you only get a 15-yard net punt.
Yeah, I mean, you know.
The other thing you have to think about is no matter where you give them the ball, you have to play defense.
Exactly.
Because
so,
West Jefferson gets the ball first next half. So if West Jefferson can score and tie it at 21, then they get the ball first next half.
Yeah, you're looking down the barrel of being on the.
And you're looking at a snowball effect of things just snowballing out of control.
No, I mean I think it's one of those things where I don't know, maybe Coach Page might be thinking about what he's going to do here on fourth and long too. So.
And interesting, Page stepped out of the huddle and let his players talk. So I'm curious if he's perhaps letting his players kind of come to the decision together.
We'll see.
Coach Rob Page has a lot of faith and trust in his leaders on this team.
I mean, he's got a lot of seniors on this team, too.
Miller is still on the sideline, so I suspect that we will be going for it here. Same formation with the single wing, tight end, twins up top.
This Mancini Jackson knows how to
Jackson's
punt
at quarterback. He's going to keep it. He runs to his right. A second effort. They are marking him short.
Yep.
2-yard gain. Here's a replay. And it is a turnover on downs. Now you have 3:34. West Jefferson has 2 timeouts remaining, and they get ball first next half. Reading defense must step up. They can't play they can't give them up chunks and then, try to stop them at the goal line again. They have to stop them right here. Here comes Jefferson to the line.
Yeah, I think Reading's. I mean, they got to win this battle up front right now. I mean, they got to get pressure on the West Jefferson quarterback. And
here comes a blitz off the edge. As Mancini Jackson is picked up. Gabe Jones with a big run, 14 yards. Stops the clock while they move the chains. 3:27.
I mean, there's plenty of time for West Jefferson to do what they've done all year and put points on the board.
25, Dillon is back in running back. Higgins is lined up as a wing. 3 wide receivers, 2 at the bottom, 1 at the top. We have an equipment timeout on the line.
I don't know how much this is coming into play right now, but I just noticed it seems like there's a lot of players on the West Jefferson side.
There's a lot more players on West Jefferson's side.
I don't know if they're, getting a little more, getting some subs in a little bit more, and to where maybe,
possibly staying fresh over there.
Fresh,
They got more heat. They got more heat over there.
They definitely have more heat over there. So, I mean, their players are warm and refreshed.
We can use some more heat here in the press box.
I would agree with that statement.
My toes are frozen. West Jefferson looking to snap the ball here. It's a run up the middle. It's Dillon. There's pressure. Nice play by Combs and Van Skyke.
Yep, Van Skyke.
Picks up maybe half of a yard. 2nd and a long 9 coming up. 2:48. The clock is running. West Jefferson still has 2 timeouts. They're looking to throw the ball, and they got beat. They got beat, Van Hook. That's going to be a touchdown. Number 24 for Reading. Elijah Vaught had his eyes in the backfield. There is a flag down. Reading does have hope here that it may be coming back. Flag. And it's an eligible man downfield.
Yeah, 52.
An eligible man downfield.
Yep.
Is the call on West Jefferson. There's a play action, and Elijah Vaught was sucked into the backfield, which allowed for Van Hook to be wide open and a perfect pass by Lance Lambert. We're inquiring about where Justin Drayling has been for the defense. I think he plays safety.
Just noticed we hadn't really called.
He does. He plays safety.
I mean, he's got 6 interceptions on the year.
They haven't thrown to his side of the field. All the throws for West Jefferson has been to Elijah Vaught's side of the field, and the other safety. And now they're bringing Drayling over to the side of the field to help with this coverage. So you inquired about Draylen. He may be involved in the plays from here on out if they throw to the side. He's going long again. Protection's there. Cromer's looking to get pressure. Here it comes. And it is caught, but out of bounds.
Yeah,
no foot
Vaught.
was down.
Yeah, no foot down.
Elijah Vaught. He's still excited that he made a play. He rightfully so. He's had a couple of bad plays here tonight. And for him to be able to step up there and to stop the defender from making the catch, it's a good play. And now Jefferson will line up with what looks like 4 wide receivers. Down at the bottom is your more dangerous duo with Boyd and Van Hook. You got Drayling and Vaught in coverage. It's man on man. Here comes pressure off the edge. It's Cromer. Lambert avoids it. He's going to run. He may have a first down. He's going to be short. It's going to be 4th and 3. And there is a flag down. Could be in the area. It could be a sideline warning.
It's right over by the sideline, so I mean typically when
is it the warning or is it the penalty? This is the warning. The next time they call it, it'll be a penalty.
Be interested to find out what the warning was on. Or
more than likely, you had a coach that was too far out on the field. 4th down, 3 wide receivers, 1:55 on the clock.
Bringing that blitz.
Reading's looking to blitz. They're going to leave their defensive backs in man-on-man coverage. And West Jefferson saw the blitz, and now they'll take a timeout.
Yeah, they're definitely going to want to take a timeout. I mean, 1:48 left. Put them at midfield. That's giving Reading a whole heck of a lot of time if they don't pick up this first down.
So 1:48 remaining on the clock. And it'll be 4th and 3 on the other side of this West Jefferson timeout. It has gotten considerably colder just here in the press box since we started. And the point of that is that it has to be that much more colder outside on the field.
Very true.
And our director producer, Dean Lowry, he's in the truck. He's telling us outside in the truck, even with his heat on, it's considerably cold out there. So here we go, 4th and 3. And you're gonna have You're gonna have looks like 5 wide receivers with Lambert lined up in the shotgun. Dillon in motion. It's a jet. They hand it to him. There's good blocking. And there's a great tackle. Van Skyke with a great tackle in the backfield. And that's a turnover on downs.
1:42 left.
1:42 on the clock. And a potent Reading offense coming back onto the field. Check out this replay here. It's Dillon on the jet. And he has room. He looks like he has blocking. And Van Skyke comes out of nowhere to make the tackle.
Huge tackle with 1:42 left. I mean, Reading's got to. I mean, they got to capitalize on this. Take a little bit of momentum going into the locker room at halftime, and hopefully put some more points on the board. Because West Jefferson starts with that football, and offensively they've been moving it.
So here we go. Reading comes out now. 4 wide receivers. Trips on the bottom. Solo up top. It is Johnny Miller. He hands it to Simmons. Simmons, if he can get the edge, he might have a block.
Nothing.
Nothing's there. He gets out of bounds.
Looks like a loss of 1.
If anything, he got back to the original line of scrimmage, but he did get out of bounds and stop the clock at 1:33.
They're giving it to him at the original line of scrimmage.
Four wide receivers now, 2 at the top, 2 at the bottom. They look to the sideline. Deshaun Wynn will signal into play. Quick throw. Scott caught by Van Skyke.
Only good for about 2 yards.
And there's a flag, and they're going to call something on Redding as West Jefferson is clapping and applauding. Personal foul, and it is on Redding.
Van Skyke's kind of looking around like, putting his hands
Again,
up.
we don't have the benefit of our replay monitor here in the booth, so we can't see it. It is a personal foul on Redding. I would guess that perhaps someone on the sideline said something to West Jefferson. And we're seeing that maybe there was a slight push by Van Skyke.
I'll tell you what, Redding now, if they don't come up with something big on this play, I try to keep this ball in bounds.
I would probably just run the ball here.
Yeah, run the ball on 3rd and forever, and then let this time.
I'm always the fan of a middle screen on 3rd and long.
Yeah,
you let the
that's a good
defense
call.
get off field. They're going to run it.
Yeah, you can
He
take
has
that
room.
Too. Simmons with a big hole. Hey, look at that.
That's going to bring up about 4th and 6, maybe 4th and 5.
I think you're looking at around 4th and 5. They caught him down a little shorter than where I thought he got about to the 48-yard line.
It's 4th and 5. He's at the 49. He's going to get to the 44, and the offense is staying on the field. I would assume that they're going to let this play clock go all the way. They may even take a delay of game and punt. And it looks like West Jefferson may be okay with the 21-14 disadvantage going into the halftime. They're not using their last timeout. They have one on the board. They're not going to take it. Redding's going to take the delay of game. There it is. 41 seconds. And here comes the punting team. Again, this is always dangerous if you're the punt return team when the quarterback of the opposing team is the punter. It always brings in the possibility of a throw. Highly unlikely in this situation, but that scenario is there.
Yeah. I think if it was something where you're going to do that, you might have done it on 4th and 5 instead of 4th and 10. It's a 15. Look how far back he is there.
Short snap, pressure, low line drive punt. It's going to roll. It might roll too far.
Please stop.
He's got it at the 4-yard line, 3-yard line. What a roll. And we'll call that a 46. Got to do some math here.
Well, it was spotted what originally?
51-yard
48-yard line?
I think I'm going to call it a 51-yard punt.
Great punt. And it put it inside the 5 at the 3-yard line. Hey.
If you're West Jefferson, I would assume you're probably just going to run something very safe here. And if you make a big play, then you can use your last time out.
Yep.
But if nothing happens, then you more than likely will just let the clock run out.
I got it.
And that is going to be more than likely the half. Higgins with the run. They're going to go. West Jefferson will go into halftime with a 1 timeout in their pocket. And time has expired here in the second. Redding jumps out to a 21-0 lead within 5 minutes of the start of the game. West Jefferson has battled back to bring the deficit from 21 to 7. It's 21-14. Redding Blue Devils lead at the half. Ryan McGahey with you along with Brad Mahaffey, and we will be back for the second half right after this. And welcome back to the second half of action here on our Frozen Friday night. That's what I've called it. And we have Division 5, Region 20 high school football playoff action. The number 8 seed Reading Blue Devils technically are playing host as the designated home team to the West Jefferson Rough Riders, the 5 seed. And the lovely folks here at Xenia High School are the actual hosts of this game. As we get set to kick off here for the second half, Coach Mahaffey, what do we see in the first half there stats-wise, and what kind of adjustments do you think you'll see in the second?
A couple quick stats from our QB leaders out here. We get Lambert from the West Jefferson Rough Riders, 1 for 4 on the game, 74, but that one.
He did have another touchdown called back, so he could easily be 2 for 5.
He could easily be 2 for 5 with 2 touchdowns, but 1 for 4 currently, 74-yard pass for a touchdown. A little bobble on the kick there.
He's only stopped at about the 18-yard line.
Yeah, number 24, Elijah Vaught, pumped up there. He's a very, very emotional player.
And how about the rest of those first half stats?
Yeah, we got and then Miller, of course, from Reading, 2 for 6, 0 yards. He was completed a 3-yard pass and then a little out pass for.
And we were talking at the halftime break, maybe like seeing him throw that deep ball a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean he's got a great deep ball. It's very, very accurate, and it's definitely something that's there, and they need to maybe open up a little bit. So.
And we both came to the conclusion that West Jefferson should just keep doing what they just did there, what they did in the entire first half, and that was run Higgins up the middle. And what was Higgins' stat line for the first half?
Higgins had 17 carries for 73 yards, and that touchdown at the end of that first quarter. He had Simmons from Reading, 10 carries, 116 yards, and a touchdown. And then, of course, Mancini Jackson.
Oh, Higgins got stood up there by Tanner Cromer.
Cromer owning that middle there. That's somebody who's really got to step up and play that nose tackle position real tough and shut that Higgins run down. So, but Simmons, 10 carries, 116 yards, and that big touchdown. And then, of course, Jackson in that Wildcat formation, five carries, 59 yards, and a touchdown.
So those are your first half stats brought to you by Brad Mahaffey. 3rd and long. Going to throw, play fake. Man down the seam.
He's got Van Hook.
He underthrew him.
Almost intercepted there.
Underthrew him. No penalty flags are called. It's going to be 4th and 7.
Little incidental contact, but, I mean, there were 3 guys, three Reading defenders.
Check out your replay here. There's a play fake, and Van Hook actually does beat the defense. If the ball is thrown in front of him and Lambert leads him down the field, it's another touchdown. But it's thrown short right into the backs of 3 Reading defenders. Yeah, Marcus Flaggy and Gabe Van Skyke, I believe, were on the coverage.
Yeah, Flaggy was kind of limping off the field there at the end.
Flaggy's been solid in coverage so far tonight.
Looks like he's having a little bit of a ankle issue with that left ankle.
We can't see who's deep. Justin Williams the punt. It's a nice high sky spiral punt. And he got there early. That's going to be 15, kick-catch interference. That's going to be kick-catch interference. That's going to give Reading the ball at West Jefferson's 40. He got there a little early. Check out this replay here. Again, hard for us to tell with the numbers who was back to return. You see the West Jefferson defender. Looks like number 23. It's hard to tell. That'd be Keontae Sanders.
Yeah, Keontae Sanders.
And he just got whacked. Like, they got there early, hit him way too early, and it'll put the ball at the 42-yard line. So great starting field position here for the Reading Blue Devils. And this is what you wanted. You come out, you get a 3-and-out.
Yeah,
and then you get a big penalty on the punt return to put you in good field position. If you're Reading and Rob Page, you got to put this thing in the end zone right now.
And Keontae Sanders, I mean, even with those defenders coming at him, I mean, he's actually had a kick return for a touchdown this year. He's got a couple rushing touchdowns. I mean, that's
Simmons ball
nice
carried
carry
high.
up the middle by Simmons.
Carries that ball high and tight for 7 yards. Here's a replay right up the middle. Nothing special here. We talked about that at halftime. We were talking about Reading's adjustments. They did well on the perimeter in the first half, but West Jefferson made adjustments in the second quarter that shut down that perimeter. So both you and I agreed at halftime that Reading really needs to hit the middle.
They do. They absolutely
And they did that on that first play for 7 yards.
And that was one of Coach Page's keys to success for the offense.
And 2 stiff arms, back-to-back stiff arms. He got a block in the back, and it's not called. Mancini Jackson is lucky to not be called for a block in the back. It was blatant. It was right in front of us here.
Going to give him about a 2-yard pickup there.
It's going to be 3rd and 1.
Short of 3rd and 1.
And they tried to run to the perimeter this time. They go inside on the first play. Second play, they come back on the perimeter. Simmons gets 2 stiff arms.
Kind of back to what we were talking about, the perimeter play opening up that inside. The perimeter play has been pretty decent, but West Jefferson's definitely stepped up and kind of shut that down a little bit. Miller
up to the middle. He's going to try to sneak it.
And
he may have a first down.
He does.
To the 31-yard line. That gets first down by more than half of the football, or more than a whole football. About a half a yard past the first down marker.
Yeah, that's a good call by Coach Page.
The Reading faithful has showed up here tonight to support their Reading Blue Devils.
There's a lot.
At the beginning of the game, I questioned whether there'd be a lot here or not, but they have turned out, and They filled up about 3/4 of the bleachers here on the home side of the stadium, Doug Adams Stadium in Xenia, Ohio.
Simmons back up the middle.
Simmons up the middle. He gets maybe 2 yards. Extra effort there.
Depends on where they spot him here. Looks like they're going to spot him about the 29. So
he was stopped right at the line of the scrimmage. He turned his back to the defense and pushed his way for 2 yards. Great effort play by Adrian Simmons. As the Reading Blue Devils, they jumped out with 3 touchdowns in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah, Adrian Simmons, here's a guy that just, shows up at practice every day, does the right things, and then just runs the football hard on Friday nights. So, hats off to Adrian Simmons.
It's a play fake, but there's a penalty. And we're going to have an illegal procedure on the offense.
Man, I'll tell you, every drive of Reading's that has stalled due to, some sort of a silly penalty, whether it's a
They had a long 40-yard pass earlier, called back to an eligible man downfield. Here you see an illegal procedure. Takes it from 2nd and 8 to 2nd and 13. And the clock is still running. No one has noticed. Tanner Cromer in motion. Reading has to hurry.
Oh, ball's on the ground.
And they've hurried too much. Now the ball's on the ground.
Yep.
That's going to bring up about 3rd and 21.
I was going to say that's a loss of about 8, so. Man.
What happened there was the play clock was running down. Johnny Miller looked back at the play clock and noticed it was coming down to 0, and he hurried the snap, and he tried to go through his play before he had control of the ball.
So yeah, I don't know if that guy on the end of the line even actually came set before that ball was snapped. So
he's going to throw it. He's got pressure from the edge, and he is going to be sacked for about a half of a yard loss. So we're going to 4th and 22, 4th and 23, and Miller will no doubt stay on the field to punt. He's had 2 great punts, a 42-yarder and a 51-yard punt.
And you can look back to it again. I mean, you know, picking up first downs, moving the ball, and then that penalty kind of stalls them out. And then West Jefferson steps up, makes some good defensive plays, and here we are punting the ball again.
Reading's defense gave him a quick 3-and-out to start the second half, and the offense couldn't do anything with it. Now the defense will be tasked again to stop this West Jefferson offense. It's a high, slow snap, and it's a low line drive punt aimed towards the sideline. It's going to pull up at about the 12-yard line.
Not a bad punt.
So a 30-yard punt. All 3 of his punts, none of them have been returned. So he has a perfect net to gross ratio. Great punting night for Johnny Miller. Not so much with throwing the ball.
Yeah, that's not the type of night he wants to have. I think he wants to have a great quarterback night, not a punting night.
It's still a great contribution to your team.
It definitely is. It definitely is.
If West Jefferson continues to have to start, every drive inside the 20-yard line, it could be, long night for them. We have 3 wide receivers, single wing, and that looks like Gabe Jones.
25, yeah, Gabe Jones. I carry for 2 yards there.
That was Gabe Jones on the run. He picked up 2. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Jefferson's back up to the line quick, man. They like to get that thing moving quick.
Neither team really huddles on offense.
Yeah, neither one.
3 wide receivers again. He's going to throw. He's going long. He's going for Boyd. Vaught has it. He dropped it. Elijah Vaught. Who has given up 2 big plays. Take a look at your replay here. Elijah Vaught, he's given up 2 big plays. One went for a touchdown. The other was called back on a penalty.
Yeah, he was.
But since then has rebounded to make great plays.
He jumped that route real quick, and he got back in coverage real quick. Made a nice play on the ball. Looked like he had it, and then I want to say that was who was that?
He's
Was
going
that
for
Justin
number
Williams?
He's going for number 6.
Yeah, number 6, Justin Williams. All of a sudden, he turned into the defender and had to try and strip it from Vaught. So
impressive. Justin Williams is 6'4". Elijah Vaught's only 5'9". Vaught out-jumped him.
Yeah, Vaught's definitely got some
Pressure up the middle. He rolls, and he's got a Gabe Jones
wide
open down the middle. Did he catch it? He caught it. Caught it at the 46, tackled at the 50. It's a first down. And check out the replay here as Gabe Jones was wide open.
right down the middle.
Again, a little underthrown by Lambert. If Lambert leads him, it's a touchdown.
Yeah, Jones had to wait on that ball to get there, I mean, he hits him on a run, and it's 6.
That's the second such play here in the second half in which Lambert has underthrown a receiver. Option, pitch. Well read by the Blue Devils.
Very well read.
But Gabe Jones did a great job. It's a great individual effort to pick up a yard.
Yeah, instead of a loss of 3, he gets a yard, so 76, Andrew Feartag.
He's their big man in the middle.
Big boy at nose tackle, kind of hobbling off a little bit.
He's going to take a rest.
Looks like Combs is back into.
Here's a snap, option left. He'll keep it, and he's going to be tackled.
A little high.
A little high on the tackle, but it's on the shoulders. That looks like number 72.
Yeah, 72's excited.
Caleb Cox. He just came in the game for Feartag.
Oh, for Feartag.
And he makes the play.
Caleb Cox a big kid too. I mean, 6'4", 235. I mean, that's definitely a guy you want to have on that line.
And here we go, third down and 9.
2 big plays by the Reading defense.
4 receivers.
Let's see what they can do here on a 3rd and long.
Shotgun snap.
He's looking
gonna
towards
throw.
Vaughn.
It's a screen.
The screen.
And it's set up well with blockers.
Very
and there goes
well.
Van Hook. He's at the
Ball's
and the
out.
ball's out, and
Ball's
Reading
out.
has the ball. Another turnover for the Reading Blue Devils.
It's hard to see who was on it.
It may have been Mancini Jackson with the recovery. I could not see who caused the fumble. It was Van Hook streaking down the sideline. He's at the 30. He's at the 25. Right when he got to the 22, he was hit. He was tackled. The ball came out, and Reading jumped on the ball. Mancini Jackson calls the fumble. It's still difficult for us to see which number recovered it. So it'll be 1st and 10 on their own 20. It looks like Mancini Jackson's back at quarterback. Simmons up the middle. He gets 1, maybe 2. Johnny Miller is on the sideline. Mancini Jackson is at quarterback. This worked successfully earlier, but it was one of those drives, as you discussed, where it was ended with a penalty.
Yeah.
Or the momentum of the drive is killed with a penalty.
I mean, I feel like Reading's offensive line gives them pretty decent pass protection. I mean, they haven't taken a whole lot of shots downfield, and I mean, I think it's Miller's back in the game. Let's see if we can.
Miller's coming back in. There's only 15 on the play clock. They have to hurry.
I feel like there's too many people out there. There's a ton of personnel.
There's confusion.
There.
They're going to.
There was an extra guy out there. 1, 2,
8
3,
seconds,
4, 5,
7
6,
seconds.
7,
They might
8,
have
9,
to call a
10.
timeout
I only
here.
see 10 guys. They just brought number 1 back out.
They snapped the ball, and the timeout was called just before they snapped.
Yeah, they needed that. I mean, 2nd and 9. You just got that big turnover. You got momentum swung your way. I mean, that's a good timeout by Coach Page.
I can only see bad things happening if you were a man down, even if you got that 11th man on.
Yeah.
And he doesn't exactly know what's going on.
Yep.
Maybe a well-used timeout. Scoreboard shows 2nd and 10. I see 2nd and 9 with the sticks. So we had Mancini Jackson running the offense on the first play.
Oh.
And then on the second play, they wanted to bring in Johnny Miller right last second. And it caused some confusion, which led to this timeout. To reset, 3:45 left here in the third quarter. It's 21-14 Reading. Reading Blue Devils jumped out with 21 points in the first 5 minutes of this contest. West Jefferson has since been battling back, and Reading has been barely holding on to their 7-point lead. Turnovers has been the story for West Jefferson. Here's a run,
nice
a big block on the edge
Huge
there.
block.
Simmons makes a nice move. He has the
Simmons,
first down.
nice
His
stiff
stiff
arm.
arm. He has a NFL stiff arm at the high
does.
school level.
Was that Mancini Jackson on that edge block?
It was hard to tell. It may have been Tanner Cromer, number 13, but someone came around the edge and pancake blocked the West Jefferson defender. And then Simmons comes around the edge and makes a move, and then the stiff
block was
arm.
key to spring him.
Those are the perimeter plays that Coach Page talked about that they like to use to set up their inside run.
Absolutely.
But the inside run has not been present tonight.
Yeah, looking at it, I think that was Tanner Cromer that came over and laid that block down. That's definitely what sprung Simmons for that big pickup.
There goes Simmons up the middle. Let's see if that middle run is there.
It's churning,
not, but
fella.
his second effort, his individual effort, will allow him to gain 3 yards on the play.
Definitely a fantastic second effort by Simmons.
You take a look at the replay.
Keeps those legs churning. Instead of getting stopped at the line of scrimmage, picks up 2.5.
But again, the middle is not there.
Actually,
They want the middle to be there.
Actually, they spotted
They
about
gave him
4
4,
yard gain.
so
Yeah,
we're going to call it 2nd and 6. And this is Miller is at quarterback. Mancini's Jackson is up top by himself. On the bottom, we have Dreeling and Van Skyke.
Man, they got to get that.
He's going to throw it, and it's wide and high. Johnny Miller's accuracy is questionable on throws that are short.
Johnny Miller's upset over something here. Upset over the snap being low, something.
He's talking to his coach, Coach Rob Page, the head coach. He's also the offense coordinator and calls the plays. I don't know if you can see him or not, but he usually hangs back actually behind the offense on the sideline. He calls the plays, and Deshaun Wynn signals them in. They got trips stacked on the bottom. They're going to fake a screen and try to go long. Miller's under pressure, so he's going to run, and it's a nice play. They're going to call him down. There's a fumble, but they'll call him down.
It's like about a yard or two.
And it'll bring up 4th and 5, and, you know, we kind of chuckled at it, but with the way that Johnny Miller's been punting tonight, I would be in favor of punting here and putting West Jefferson back down and deep inside their territory.
The way the Reading defense is playing, I think you do the same thing. So, I mean, they're going to drop Miller back. They're going to, you know, the way he has been punting has been fantastic. So
the biggest questionable part for Reading's defense tonight has been their interior line allowing the runs up the middle, and then the secondary allowing the receivers to beat them deep. This is another low line drive.
Van
and
Hook's
it's
back
another
there.
roll.
He didn't touch it.
He did touch it on his knee. The referee tossed his beanbag.
Oh, did he?
The referee tossed his beanbag at the 25.
I'll tell you, Elijah Vaught. I think that's Elijah Vaught.
The referee tossed his beanbag at the 25. It hit a Reading player on the knee.
Yeah, it was Elijah Vaught, and he's actually the one who came over and downed it at the half-yard line. He was trying to sell it pretty well, but unfortunately, I don't think the ref was. I think he was buying it tonight.
But had that ball not hit Elijah Vaught's knee, that would have been another
Punt inside
insane,
at the
amazing punt
half-yard line.
that would have rolled all the way down to the half-yard line. So a 23-yard difference in field position here could be a big momentum push for West Jefferson. 1:52 to go here in the third quarter.
Let's see if they go after Vaught again here down on the bottom side towards us. So
it's been there all night. There's the run up the middle. That looked like Gabe Jones, possibly Dillian. I apologize. I've been saying Dylan all night. It's Dillian.
oh, it's pronounced Dillian.
Dillian. There's a replay up the middle. Gabe Jones, 4 yards.
A little confusion on the Reading defense here.
Looks like they have everyone covered. They're in the I form with 3 wide receivers. It's going to be a play fake, and they're looking long. Here comes the pressure. He's going to have to scramble. He's going to be hit and tackled a yard short of the line of scrimmage. So that would be a sack. Looked like Tanner Cromer was in pursuit.
They're already marking it 3rd and 7, so
Yeah, it was
looks
a
like
sack.
about a loss of 1.
Loss of 1. Freer tag comes off for 3rd down, as he often does. Down marker says 2nd down, but it is 3rd down. Now they change it. It's 3rd and 7. We have 3 wide receivers, 2 at the bottom, 1 at the top. Running back may have started a little early, but the referees don't see it. It's a screen.
Set up again.
And the Reading defense is there. They stayed home, but
Oh,
they
they
break a
didn't
tackle,
wrap up.
and he has a 1st down.
Man, you got to wrap up that tackle. He's trying to shoulder tackle.
Check out the replay here. Honestly, to me, it looked like the running back started early before the ball was snapped.
Yeah, definitely started a little early.
But they don't see it. They didn't call it, and it's a screen pass. And it was stopped, but individual effort leads to a 1st down, and now there's a penalty called on Reading. So with 31 seconds here in the 3rd quarter.
One of Coach Page's, defensive keys to winning the game, doing your job, staying focused and following fundamentals. And that was definitely not a fundamental tackle, I'll tell you that. That's a second effort enabled that 1st down.
And then a penalty to boot on the end of it. Puts West Jefferson on Reading's 44. Run up the middle. Here's Higgins. It worked very well in the 1st half. It has not worked here in the 2nd.
No, Reading's adjusted well to that Higgins inside carry, man.
He didn't get 2 yards, so it'll be 2nd and 8. And that's going to bring the end of the 3rd quarter. 21-14. We've been deadlocked at this score since the end of the 1st.
Yes, we have.
We thought we might be in for a barn burner, a high scorer, 40-40, 50-50. But it's 21-14, and it's been that way for 2 quarters.
Yeah, with 2 teams that put up the offense the way that they do, West Jefferson averaging 46 points a game, you never thought you'd see a 4th quarter going in 21-14 after that was the score 5 minutes into the game.
Reading's not far behind him. Reading averages about 44.
So 2 high-scoring offenses, you expect to see it. And tail of the tape tonight's been the defense.
And the defense did score a touchdown for Reading earlier on in the game. That's been the major difference. It was a pick 6 on a screen thrown by Lambert. Simmons had a long touchdown run after that, which is also off of a turnover by Lambert, a fumble. That made it 21-0. And since then, West Jefferson has battled back to score 2 touchdowns, cut the lead from 21-7. You see they flip fields now. West Jefferson will move from your right to your left. They're going to come out 2nd and 7. Their typical formation. Kind of a pistol with Higgins behind Lambert.
Yep.
There's Higgins up the middle. Tanner Cromer makes contact in the backfield, rides Higgins down after a gain of about 3.
Yep.
Be 3rd and 5. Tanner Cromer had to come off the field. That's big for Reading. He's their biggest pass rusher on a pass rushing down. He's limping. He's on the sideline, number 13.
Sure is. Yeah.
And Rob Page is the one taking care of it. He's yelling at his training staff, who is not looking at him. Higgins, big hole up the middle. Drayling goes low. He may have almost lost the football, but he didn't. Check out the replay here. Higgins right up the middle. Big, wide open hole. Drayling goes low. Shoestring tackle. Reading defender comes in. Nearly knocks the ball away. Higgins holds on. 1st down, West Jefferson.
I'll tell you what, they're in trouble if Tanner Cromer's still over here limping on the sideline.
I think he's okay. They're looking at a helmet repair. And a throw out, Van Hook. Makes him.
Oh, man, nifty little moves. He might take
He got hit really hard right at the 3-yard line. But it looks like the Reading player took the brunt of the hit as he slowed to get up.
Still down.
That was Drayling that came over and made a strong hit. But a screen pass to Van Hook.
Oh, no. Van Hook's, he just went off the sideline there. he's a little shaken up on.
Both players is a hard collision. I'd look for Higgins up the middle here.
Oh, yeah.
And he
Higgins
stopped in the backfield.
Stopped immediately.
They're going to put him right at the line of scrimmage.
Kind of hard to see who made that initial. Kind of difficult to see
Checking out a
who made that
replay here.
initial
I assume
contact.
it's the Higgins run. It's a run up the middle. Nice penetration by the Reading defense into the backfield. And a stopping for a no gain. Going back to the prior play, it was Van Hook with a great individual effort to put West Jefferson in this position. 10:20 to go in the game. West Jefferson looking to tie. Hands it off to Higgins. He has the edge.
He's got that edge.
He dives, and he has a touchdown. Ethan Higgins, his second touchdown of the night. More than likely well over 100 yards now for the evening. And this has become a battle now between Higgins and Simmons.
I'll tell you what, a big thing coming up here is big fella John Stevenson. We've seen a lot of his kicks real low tonight. So, I mean,
some of those kicks that we saw in warm-ups were timing issues with the snap and with the hold.
So, I mean, if Reading can put a little bit of pressure on this extra point, it looks like, I mean, it
Drayling got pressure on the first extra point. Nearly blocked it.
They are trying to rush through here. So, this is very
Snap's
important.
good, holds good, kicks good. His best kick of the night.
Was his best kick of the night.
And it's tied 21-21. Reading has to come up with an answer now.
They do.
Their offense has been stale since the first quarter. West Jefferson has made the proper adjustments on defense.
You know, I mean, Reading's had some flashes of brilliance here and there, but not been able to string anything together. Of any consistent play. So, big play here and there, and fizzles out. So they got to string together a nice little series.
So Reading's Rob Page, head coach, also the offense coordinator, must figure out something to get his offense going. West Jefferson will be set to kick. It'll be number 6, Justin Williams. So here's Justin Williams set to kick. Simmons is deep with Mancini Jackson. Williams kicks all night have been going to the second level. Let's see if that trend continues. It's a high kick. And Van Skyke called for, no, he didn't. There's a penalty. It's going to be offsides on the kicking team, which will move them back 5 yards and make them kick from the 35. With the short kicks all night,
man,
this could set up great field position again for Reading.
It absolutely could.
They have had great field position twice already in this second half. Both times they were not able to do anything with it.
I mean, if Van Skyke is in the vicinity of where that kick's going to go, so
he was the deep returner earlier, but since they keep kicking it there, they've switched him and Simmons.
Okay, good.
And that's where all of Williams' kicks have gone all evening. And it goes there again. So it's Van Skyke from the 25. He has a bit of a hole. He has the edge.
He does. He needs a
45,
block.
50, and he's going to go out of bounds at the 46. At the West Jefferson 46-yard line. Great blocking by the special teams.
Fantastic field position
a great play call by the Reading special teams coordinator as they noticed Williams was kicking it to the same spot all evening. And they moved Van Skyke there, and they set up a blocking wall around the left side.
Yeah. As you stated before, I mean, seeing that, adjusting to it, and getting the
Reading's defense has
mostly
spot. Adjusted. Reading special teams has adjusted. Now let's see if their offense can adjust. They scored 2 touchdowns in the first quarter and haven't scored since. Here's Simmons. This is the play that they scored on earlier, and nothing is working here.
About a yard.
Maybe a half-yard gain. Here's a replay. You'll see the penetration from the left side of the West Jefferson defense. Reading faithful, encouraging their team. We have trips down at the bottom. Mancini is solo up top. He's covered by Van Hook. It looks like Justin Williams may be shadowing him on a bracket coverage. And all the momentum now seems to be with West Jefferson. Their sideline is excited. Their crowd is standing on their feet, some of them.
I'll tell you, I mean, I'm really, really, really shocked that we haven't seen any of that Miller to Jackson with that individual solo coverage.
Well, the last two plays, they had the bracket coverage on him. Now he is man-on-man.
Still bracket.
Lambert's back there deep at safety. Now they're coming with double coverage on Mancini Jackson.
Yep.
They're bringing blitz. He's going long. He's got Van Skyke.
He's got him.
He dropped the ball. He had Van Skyke open. A beautiful deep ball by Johnny Miller. The deep balls for Johnny Miller have been there all night.
All night long.
His short throws leave something to be desired. And the long throws are on the money, but this time Van Skyke drops it. So now we have fourth down. Miller likely to punt. 4th and 12. I don't see a fake here. The snaps for the punts have been somewhat questionable. But the blocking in front of Miller has been good for the punts.
Yeah, that's a good snap right there. I was going to say
this is a good punt.
End
over end. It's got another roll inside the 20 to about the 19-yard line. Reading must play defense now. They can't afford to let West Jefferson score.
They cannot. I mean, 8 minutes and 29 seconds left in this game. There's
Reading has not been able to move the ball on a defense that is typically very stingy. They only allow 12 points a game. They've allowed 21 today, well, technically only 14.
Sure.
The other 7 was on their offense, throwing a pick 6. So this is a defensive stop that Reading must have. And here goes Higgins again. The formula remains the same. This one is stopped. If Reading is keying on that run, you may look for that situation you spoke of earlier where Lambert may finally pull the ball out of Higgins' stomach and look for a throw or a run. Here's a pass.
Oh.
Going deep. One-on-one. It might have been.
Got him.
And he makes the tackle, and it's a touchdown.
He's not out of bounds. He stayed in.
Van Hook with a great play. Vaught had great coverage on the play. There may have been a push on Van Hook, but it's not called. And it's a touchdown for West Jefferson. And they have now. Here's a replay. You see the slight push there from Van Hook on Vaught.
Yeah, Vaught had good coverage on him. He just
anytime an offense receiver extends his arm to create an opening to catch the pass, that's usually called offensive pass interference. But not this time. Snap was left. And over and kick through the uprights.
It's getting a little chippy out there. I'll tell you, he might not be saying it, but Cromer's got a little bit of a limp going on, so I just saw him kind of jogging off, and he's favoring that knee a little bit.
So now Reading finds herself trailing for the first time in this contest by 7 points. They have to figure out something with their offense as West Jefferson has their number. On the defensive side of the ball, West Jefferson has stopped Reading now since the first quarter.
Yeah, the only thing defensively I think that I would probably do if I was Reading, I mean, the only person that's really been killing you all night long is Van Hook, and he's been doing it in that one-on-one coverage with Vaught. So
all of West Jefferson's big passes tonight have come against Elijah Vaught. You have to wonder if maybe moving Drayling over there instead of Vaught might be the better move.
Yeah, I mean, Drayling's got the height, you know. I mean, he's a senior. He's 6 foot tall. I mean, it's not a, you know, it doesn't have a huge height.
This is Gabe Jones kicking off. He's going to kick it off to the other side now. He returns it to the 36,
Yeah.
30, maybe the 37.
Yeah, the Blue Devils got to wake up. They got to do something. They got to get something going on offense here. I think the biggest change in the game has been the ability of West Jefferson's defensive line to kind of shut Adrian Simmons down. He's had a couple carries, you know, this second half, but you know, decent carries. He had that one that was kind of broken at the beginning, but the beginning of the second half. But other than that, it's been, you know, 2 yards, 3 yards. I mean, and that's just not going to get it. It's not going to get it. So looks like Mancini Jackson's back there, quarterback again. Back to Simmons. It's a loss of a couple.
And all the momentum now.
Yeah, I mean,
is with West Jefferson. The Reading sideline is. They appear to have no life in them right now.
Kind of
they really
deflated.
need some kind of a big play to pick them up.
But just like I was saying, you know, I mean, they've definitely got Simmons' number at the moment, you know. So I mean, they're playing that run. There's something they're keying on, you know. They're like, you got to change up that play call a little bit, I think. And you know,
Now
I don't know.
2nd and 11. Johnny Miller's back in the game. Mancini Jackson is up top by himself.
Looks like they're sending a blitz, and they are.
Blitzing up the middle, ball is tipped. The line of scrimmage by number 22, Jordan South. Great defensive play.
Yeah, it looked like that ball had a little bit more mustard on it, you know, as compared to some of other Miller's other, you know, short passes. But I think you might have seen a decent little pickup out of that. But 22 made a good play on the ball.
It is 3rd and 11, 6:51 to go. The clock may be striking midnight for Cinderella.
It may be.
Number 8 seed upset in the 1 seed last week. Trying to upset a very strong 5 seed tonight. Over the middle, underthrown, picked off by Higgins.
Yeah, he got hit as he was thrown. That was all the difference.
Now you must count on your defense has to get a 3. I would say a 3 and out. Check a replay here. Ball is tipped, and Higgins catches it before it hits the ground.
Yeah, that pressure off that D line really putting. I mean, I'll tell you what, Miller stayed confident and cool in the pocket. I mean, he really did. He hung in there. You know, never once, you know, kind of showed any signs of taking on that pressure and made his throw, but just hit as he threw. So, you know.
After going down as quickly as they did, you know, all quickly and lost. They were able to fall way back into some good football team. Still
Reading defense has to step up and play good, strong 3 downs, get a 3 and out here.
Higgins up the middle. He stopped for a short loss. That's Combs.
Yeah, big tackle by Combs there.
Andy Combs with the pressure in the backfield. Loss of 1. It'll bring second and 11.
working towards being on their side. You don't want to give it back. You give Reading a short field and an opportunity to score. That
6:20. The clock is running. Reading must prevent a first down. West Jefferson just wants a first down.
That's rare. But I came up with it. The 4th quarter.
Looks like they've got Fulton on Van Hook now.
But Van Hook is on the opposite side of the field, rather down at the bottom of the screen. He's usually at the top. There's a flag. That's a delay of game. West Jefferson is trying to run the clock, and they ran the clock a little too much. That'll bring up 2nd and 16.
I don't think Elijah Vaught's on the field, is he?
He's on the top side of the field. That's where he
Okay.
usually plays. They switch sides. In the 2nd and 3rd quarter, he was on the bottom side. They were going the opposite way. And it's Williams up top. Drayling is covering Van Hook. They're going to throw it. It's a screen for Williams. And it's in and out of his hands in a nice play. Looks like number 5, Marcus Flaggy.
Flaggy on that coverage.
Great defensive play to come up and make a hit on Justin Williams to prevent the completion.
I think those footsteps. He heard those footsteps.
Now it's 3rd and 16.
5:52. Hey, those 2 pass plays. It's stopping the clock. So, big stop here is going to give Reading enough time to operate. And
the Reading
hopefully
faithful is rising to their feet, screaming, encouraging their team.
Big Andrew Freertag trying to pump them up there for a minute.
You have 4 wide, and now we have a timeout. West Jefferson.
I think that's a good timeout from West Jefferson. Holding on to 3 at the moment. 3rd and 16. I mean, realistically, like you and I talked about earlier, this is that zone where, hey, maybe run the ball, be safe, be conservative, but who knows?
If you're Reading, you have to get off the field here. It's 3rd and 16. If you don't get off the field here, you have no one else to blame for this loss but yourself. And as you stated, West Jefferson should just be looking for something safe here. Nothing.
Might try and
nothing,
go back.
Nothing down the field unless you get a receiver that beats the coverage.
Maybe go back to that screen pass. See if they'll check and see if they can get that one-on-one with Van Hook. Well, it looks like they're going to keep Fulton on him. They got to get
Low
to
snap.
39. Looking
They
deep.
are going long.
Looking deep. Going
And
right.
Justin Williams is beating. And a good tackle by Vaught inside the 10.
Yeah, but you're not looking for a good tackle from Vaught. You're looking for good coverage. And I'll tell you what, they've been, unfortunately, beating them like a drum.
Here's a replay of the deep ball. I assumed that they would not go deep. I thought they might play safe and depend on their stingy defense, but here's a deep ball to Justin Williams. And Justin Williams just has too much speed for Elijah Vaught. Great play by Elijah Vaught to try to keep his defense, with a chance to stop him here.
One thing going for Reading at the moment is that they've been playing pretty solid red zone defense tonight. 1st and goal from the 9 here. So I think
Here's Higgins, and Lambert kept it. It's a touchdown. They've been setting it up all night, and you said to look out for it.
And there it was. They went to that first quarter when Lambert fumbled the football. They were going Higgins, and then they tried to run that keep with Lambert, and there was a fumble, but it would have actually been a pretty decent pickup in the first quarter had he not fumbled the ball. And it was a pretty decent pickup on this one. So we've now found ourselves waiting for this extra point, down possibly 14.
Reading scored 3 touchdowns in 5 minutes. That point is up, and extra point attempt is up and good. 35-21. So as questionable as Stevenson was kicking in pregame warmups, he's been 5 for 5, automatic.
Big fella's been Mr. Automatic over there.
Now, the Reading Blue Devils are down 14. They did score 21 points in 5 minutes to start the game. But West Jefferson helped them out a little bit. So can Reading score quick again? That's what they need. They need a quick score, and then they need to play defense. Reading faithful is starting to leave.
The problem is
not so faithful anymore.
They scored those first points in 5 minutes, and they haven't scored any in the last 37. So I mean, they got to do something here. They need a spark, I mean, they need a really good return. They got Van Skyke back there in that same vicinity of where they kick.
But this time, it's not Justin Williams kicking off, who's been kicking to that spot.
Oh, you're right.
It's now Gabe Jones. He did this
last
time, and last time he kicked it to the opposite side. So we'll see if they may go there.
It looks like Jackson over there.
Looks like Mancini. They
squib.
go low to Van Skyke. He picks it up at the 20. And he's going to be brought down, tackled by his jersey. Can't see the number for West Jefferson. Looks like number 8, Ethan Higgins.
Brought down about the 26.
Who's been the star running back tonight for West Jefferson, is no doubt. Changed this game for West Jefferson. When they were down 21-0, they leaned on Ethan Higgins to bring them back.
Yeah, talking to the West Jefferson guys that are here with us, They mentioned Dillian. They
mentioned Dillian as
Jones.
one of the main running backs, and they kind of.
And you had
it's
actually
almost like Higgins as an afterthought.
Yeah,
and like Higgins.
You had actually
is
asked
the
about
start
Higgins. He said, "Oh yeah, you'll see him carry it some," but I think it's different.
Miller looking to throw, and it's caught.
He's in.
There's a quick 5 and out, and we're going to have an illegal motion on Reading.
The penalties are killing.
So legal motion on Reading. Penalties has no doubt been an Achilles heel tonight for the Reading Blue Devils. Reading has nothing to be sad about for this season. They can be proud of this season, proud of being a number 8 seed, defeating a number 1 seed. And they're not done yet. It's a first down to number 88. Bryce Hunt, senior, 6'6" wide receiver. 6'6" senior, look to maybe get him involved. He's tall. He's taller than most of the defensive backs for West Jefferson.
Van Skyke.
And he makes
Nice
a man
little
miss,
move.
and he gets a block,
Nice
and
block.
he's at the 40, he's at the 35, the 30, and he leaps the
Leaps the
man,
defender.
and he's at the 24-yard line, and the Reading Blue Devil faithful jumps to their feet. The sideline has come alive for the first time, and since maybe the beginning of the second half. And here's a replay here, just a quick little 5-yard hook, but Van Skyke makes a man miss.
Wish I could see that replay.
Bryce
I
Hunt
think Bryce Hunt
makes
made
a
that
great
made that block.
And here we go again. Miller looking to throw.
Going quick.
You got some momentum. You got to throw. He throws it, and it's just
what is going on down there? It was underthrown, but
it was underthrown. He is being tackled as he threw it by number 63. Pressure by Luis Carmona, junior defensive end for West Jefferson. Reading only has 2 timeouts. If they score here, do you kick an onside kick?
depends on how quick they score. I mean, clearly if we're, West Jefferson's, Van Skyke.
He's at the
Van
6.
Skyke.
He
Oh,
makes
man,
another
nice move, man.
2-man miss. And we got a flag. The back judge threw a flag. A face mask, it looks like.
So we're going to get half the distance in, it looks like. So should probably spot the ball around the 4. So that face mask is going to bring it to about
You're spot on the 4-yard line.
Is that spot right?
Spot on. Perfecto, coach.
I had to do my quick math.
Thank you to our mathematician, Casper.
Yeah, I'll tell you what.
Back of the end zone.
Ooh, jump ball there.
Looking for Hunt. Look like Bryce Hunt.
Looking for Hunt. Looking for Hunt.
Check a replay here.
Look at Jackson standing down there all by himself in the end zone.
If I had to guess, I would say that's where it's going on the next play. Jackson versus Van Hook. Mancini Jackson.
They
stands 6'3", and Van Hook stands 5'11".
Yeah, the speed isn't going to help him 4 yards into the end zone. Jackson's high point there should get this job done.
Trailing lines up in a slot, as does Van Skyke.
Nice to see a little rollout throw across the body here. Simmons is a lead block. No, they're going to stay on that same side.
Back of the end zone, too high.
That ball
almost through the upright.
Way high.
And now there's a Reading player down in the end zone. That looks like Bryce Hunt. He tried to go up for that ball and came down hard on his knees. And now it's 3rd and goal on the 4. No runs, 2 passes, 3rd down.
I think I'd try maybe.
It's 4-down territory.
Yeah, it's definitely 4-down territory with 4 minutes left in the game. But Miller's off. They're gonna bring Jackson back in, run that little wildcat. And I was gonna say I don't know if I'd necessarily go with that. Miller was not happy about that decision. He kind of came off little upset.
They got 15 seconds. They must start to hurry. A little urgency here. Mancini Jackson is in at quarterback.
Honestly, I think this is a pretty good play call.
And he keeps it.
It's a keep.
And
he's still fighting
his second
for it.
effort.
And looks like it's going to be spotted about the 1. I think they're going to spot him about the 1.
It's hard
He's
to
at
tell
the
from
2.
our angle. He's at the 1 or the 2 yard line.
Right now he's at the 2, but
if I was Reading, it's 4th down. I'd hurry up and just line up and run another play.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
But they're gonna think it over.
I think on this one, maybe you keep that inside, give that thing to Simmons. Let Simmons power that thing in.
It was not there last time. West Jefferson keyed on it. We'll have to see if it's there this time. Low, the snap is low, and he tries to go outside with a stiff arm, and he comes back inside, and it's a touchdown.
That's a touchdown.
They're going to call him short. They called him short. And I thought for sure that ball crossed the plane. That's why he fumbled. He reached the ball across the plane. We can't see our replay monitor. It's down. No, it was 4th down anyway, so it'd be West Jefferson's ball. The ref said that he was down. The ball, the back end of the ball for West Jefferson is on the plane.
Yeah, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
It looked to me like he reached the ball across the plane.
He reached the ball out, and then it was knocked out.
Knocked it out.
Yeah, but if the ball's across the plane, it should definitely be a touchdown. But
he gets a yard. It's only a matter of time now, as the Cinderella story of the Reading Blue Devils will come to an end here in 2017, barring a miracle.
I think if you
they have nothing to be ashamed of. They have everything to be proud of.
Reading just use that timeout. They use that timeout. So hopefully they'll play strong on the second down.
So there's 3:13. It's a timeout by Reading. They have 1 timeout remaining. They will need a strong defensive stand and a couple of touchdowns and a miracle in there somewhere to make a comeback.
Well, I mean, they're going to have to come up with this, this stop here, another timeout, then, try and punch it in with no timeouts left, and get that onside kick. And
their best hope for the miracle would be some sort of a defensive touchdown or a block punt in the end zone for a touchdown.
That would help.
That's their best hope for a miracle right now. But here in the second half, for the most part, West Jefferson has been cautious with the football. They do have 1 turnover. You have to look for a possible play fake and a throw, but I don't think so. Trying to get Reading to jump. Yep, trying to get Reading to jump. Reading did not jump. And it's another sneak, and he doesn't get far. It's going to be 3rd down. Might be enough room to run a pass play.
Yeah, I think they've given themselves enough space to run a pass play, and given the rap sheet that the limited rap sheet that I know of West Jefferson, they may just try and sneak a pass in here.
Well, we thought on 3rd and 16 that they might play it safe and then punt the ball away, but instead they threw a 50-yard bomb. And
it paid off for them, too.
It paid off, and it led to a touchdown, which put them up here by 14. Reading then tried to come back down and score, and they were just on the goal line. And they had 4 tries to get it in. They threw 2 incomplete passes. Then you had a keeper by Mancini Jackson to the right side that got down to the 2. And then a keeper to the left side on a low snap, which we think Mancini Jackson, my opinion, is he stretched the ball across the goal line for a touchdown.
He did stretch, and then the ball was knocked out. But, I mean, if the ball crossed the plane first, it's...
And they didn't call a fumble on the play. They called him down by contact.
No.
And then now here we are with West Jefferson leading by 14, 35 unanswered points after a 21-0 lead for the Reading Blue Devils.
Big 3rd down play coming up here for the Reading Blue Devils.
You have Vaught with Williams. It looks like one-on-one coverage. There may be a Flaggy, maybe shadowing to help with the coverage. He is going to throw it. They are going long. We knew they were going to go. It's underthrown. It's just thrown right into the back of Flaggy, who is there to help with coverage.
Yep. So I'll tell you, I mean, that definitely gives a little bit of help. They want to pass on that, 3rd and long from their own end zone. It stops the clock.
And us sitting up here in the press box saw that coming, no doubt. Reading saw it coming too. And you saw that instead of Vaught being one-on-one, there was
They got the
there
help
was
from
two
Flaggy.
or three guys back there. Flaggy was back there. So Reading obviously saw it coming, as did we. And now he's going to have Justin Williams is going to have to
I'll tell you,
punt.
is this Keontae back through? It's hard to tell. I can't see a number.
The red numbers are hard to see on the blue jerseys.
It's just-
It's a good punt. And the return man slips, and
23.
it'll be at the 34-yard line. You have a chance. In poker, they say you just need a chip and a chair, and I'd say that's what
it.
Reading is at right now.
That's who it was too. Keontae Sanders has a couple.
He tried to get a running start on the ball, but
Yeah.
he slipped. He got tackled by the turf monster.
Yeah, disappointed himself at the moment. It's all right, young man.
So let's see if Reading can double up their one chip and make something out of nothing.
Hey, 2:54 to do it. It's got to score quick. Get that onside kick.
I can now almost see my breath in the press box.
Going
Miller's going
deep.
long to the end zone.
Going deep to
It's gonna
Mancini, and he's got it. He has got it.
Down to the 4.
First
Mancini
and
Jackson.
goal from the 4.
Check out this replay here. This was all Mancini Jackson.
Mancini.
Miller just throws it up.
We've been talking about that all night long, going to Mancini Jackson and just letting him high point the ball and make an athletic play.
It was double coverage, and Mancini made a great play. Here goes Simmons up the middle. The ends on West Jefferson at 63 and 51. Luis Carmona
51 is that
and Hunter Braithwaite.
Braithwaite.
Both of them just collapsed.
The guys in the press box talked about Braithwaite before the game started and said, just watch out for number 51 on
The
on
scary
defense.
thought is he has 1 year remaining.
Oh wow.
They're going to stop this play. It's hard to see. I don't see a flag. It may be a timeout by West Jefferson.
Probably was. Yeah.
So 2:25 remaining. We have second and goal at the 6-yard line.
Oh, Carmona.
Reading is still in need of a miracle.
Just want to let you know it's been a pleasure for us here at Xenia to host you for this game this evening. Thank
You're
you.
playing against a very stingy defense that only allows 12 points a game. They have allowed 14 as a defense today. As a team, they've allowed 21. And you need to score 14 points in 2 minutes to tie the game just to send it to overtime.
I'll tell you what, I was looking at the roster for the Reading Blue Devils, and I'll tell you, they got a lot to look forward to in the future. I mean, Van Skyke is a junior, so he'll be coming back next year. Tanner Cromer, only a sophomore. So he's
with 16 sacks.
Those next 2 years are going to be key for him. Of course, losing the seniors in Drilling and Jackson and
Simmons.
Miller.
Simmons at running back,
Yeah.
So here we go. They have 5 wide receivers. Simmons is lined up as kind of like a tight end. He's blocking. He throws at Mancini Jackson, it looks like.
A big catch in the right corner of the end zone. Marcellus Jackson, I believe that is Jackson.
Mancini Jackson with the touchdown catch. Fingertip grab in the front quarter of the end zone. Take a look at this replay here. They lined up four wide. They had Simmons lined up as a tight end to help with the pass protection. It gives Miller the extra time that he needs. And he throws to the right and finds Mancini Jackson for a touchdown. Very important extra point here for Sam Sofio. Snap's good. Kick is up, and it's good.
2 minutes, 21 seconds left. We'll see what happens on the kick here.
You don't have any timeouts.
No timeouts.
They do have the play clock on, so theoretically you could kick it off and have 3 stops. But that would leave you with nearly nothing left on the clock. So we're looking at an onside kick.
Yeah. I mean, West Jefferson's done nothing but, all their scores have come off big plays. I mean, they've had maybe two drives that they've strung something together where it's,
I do have to question why number 88 for Reading, Bryce Hunt, who is 6'6", would not be on the onside kick team.
I don't know. That's
There
a
he
good
goes.
question.
Now he's out. He was on the sideline, and they called him out. I think they heard me. So you should have, in my opinion, you should have Mancini Jackson and Bryce Hunt, two of the tallest kids on the team, on the same side of the field. And you should try to kick it. You want to kick the top of the ball and try to have that ball pop up high in the air so that your tallest guys can go get it.
Who is this? Is number? Oh, that's Schuler.
Number 9 is kicking.
And Schuler's a freshman. They have him listed at 5'8", and I think they're being a little generous with a few of the inches.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay, so
right off the shin, but
yeah, it nearly came bouncing back to Reading, and honestly, their hopes may have bounced away. But let's do some math again. About 8 seconds.
You're looking at
eight seconds for the average play.
You're looking at 75 seconds in play clock. So you're talking 8, 16, 24, 75, 85, 95, 99 seconds. So a minute 39 is the minimum that you're going to see off this clock. So
if they're
with no
lucky.
timeouts. So you're talking about having
of course, there could be a turnover.
41 seconds at best.
First down will end the game. First down will end the game.
So you're talking.
You have to look at when they're going to start the play clock. There's been about 10 seconds so far that has run up before they start it.
Should be running it right now. They just dropped the hand. There's the whistle.
Wow, there was 15
long
seconds
time.
in
15
between.
seconds in between.
With that timing, the game is almost guaranteed to be over.
Yes.
If you're Reading, you have to try to strip the ball. They're going to give it to Higgins.
They are using every bit.
You got to strip the ball.
They're trying.
So the play ended at 125.
Yeah, the longer they do this, the more time they're waiting in between play clocks.
It looks like they give them 15 seconds before they start the play clock.
There it goes right there.
So you
you're-
might have about 10 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah, it's not going to be much.
Actually, the way the timing has gone, with any kind of a play that lasts about 6 seconds, the game will be over. All he has to do is snap the ball and stand there. First down ends the game.
First down.
That will
That's
be
it.
the ball game. The clock will stop momentarily while they move the chains.
While they move those chains, and then
And
it is done.
this will be it for this ball game and for the 2017 Reading football season.
Well,
But they have everything to be proud of
absolutely.
and nothing to be ashamed of.
Those boys need to walk off the field with their heads up. I mean, they left everything on the field, fought for it till the end, scored that last-minute touchdown, and it's just sometimes you come up on the short end of the stick, and tonight was Reading's night to come up on the short end of the stick.
You beat a Miami East team who was the 1 seed with a 9-1 record in the first round of the playoffs, and then you came out and you played the 5 seed West Jefferson, who had a 10-0 record, and you jumped out to a 21-0 lead. Rob Page is not the kind that's going to look for moral victories, but if he was, I'm sure he's very happy with what his team has done.
Yeah, it's tough. Sometimes, especially in a loss like this, that's the first thing you're doing is looking to figure out what you could have done differently and what you could have avoided. And sometimes you hope to find a little bit of positivity in it. And his team gave everything they had tonight. So.
Absolutely. So the story of the number 8 seed, the only number 8 seed in Ohio high school playoffs this year to win a game. Out of all the divisions, the only number 8 seed to win has been beaten here tonight by West Jefferson. And for Dean Lowry, for all of our volunteers, and for Brad Mahaffey, I'm Ryan McGahey. Good night, folks.